Company of Heroes 3 was Relic Entertainment's attempt to change, improve and make fresh a franchise which is almost 20 years old at this point. But the 10 years which went by between the second and third installment created a fanbase which isn't up for underwhelming changes and subpar improvements. These led to a lower quality game at launch, and we all know the fallout that followed. Now, 1 year later, even the latest free weekend and 50% off sale on Steam only served to enhance the negative image of Company of Heroes 3, which many already had about it, cementing its low review rating, which is such stark contrast to Company of Heroes 2, the sequel most quoted as the bar for quality this franchise has set for itself. This is despite the years worth of updates and changes the developers did to try and improve the game, something my own viewers also think they failed at, judging by my latest channel poll. Before we dig into these player comments, reviews and impressions of Company of Heroes 3 to try and understand where Relic went wrong and what players actually wanted, I want to speak about two visual problems I personally had with the game from the get-go and which showed me the developers didn't do a quality job on this title.
Approaching shore! 30 seconds now!
First of these is the disconnect between gameplay, cinematics and story elements in the opening of the Italian campaign, which was the developers' attempt to bring something entirely new to the franchise, like the turn-based campaign map gameplay. But before the gameplay even starts, the player is treated to a beautiful cinematic of combat in an Italian town, which ends with a huge battle at the square with tank duels, artillery, aerial bombardment and infantry combat. Almost all of this happens during the day, while in the game it all plays out during the night. It is also highly underwhelming, with fewer units in battle, hardly any abilities to use, and just not nearly as satisfying as advertised by the cinematic. To add insult to injury, you are then treated to a story visual element, which shows your previous beach landing and combat mission again during the day, and as an amazing combined arms battle you didn't actually get to experience. It is almost like the art and story team at Relic wasn't even communicating with the gameplay and mission editing team, which led to a complete visual disconnect between what you are playing and what the story is showcasing. Another of my gripes is the absolute disregard for UI design, starting with the bland grey options showing very low developer commitment to making the game immersive from the get-go, to an atrociously bad design when it comes to the UI section for unit upgrades, which took even an experienced gamer like me several seconds to even understand what I was looking at and what information was displayed to me. It's almost like a mobile game, soulless design not benefiting from any proper art direction. As for the feedback, reviews and impressions from other players I have seen, we can group them together into a few categories. First is the overall graphic design, which many call cartoonish, especially compared to the previous game in the franchise, which felt far more realistic, historical and epic. The second major gripe players have with this one are underwhelming campaigns which simply don't offer the same level of emotional impact or memorable moments like those of previous games. One thing I especially agree with here are reviews mentioning how the Africa Core campaign is not even focusing on the experience of an actual company, which is the literal title of this game, but on a talking head of General Rommel for story exposition.
We will show the British, the Italian, and even Berlin who is the true authority when it comes to desert warfare.
Third issue many have with Company of Heroes 3 gameplay are units which don't feel powerful enough in combat and feel arcadey instead of realistic, especially when you focus on the explosive moments like blowing up an enemy or tank duels. The sounds are not there, the visual feels bland, and the action doesn't hold a grip over the players as it used to. The fourth issue is a mixed bag of technical glitches, unbalanced factions, units, as well as weak voice acting. I have made sure to play all the game's features and tried to confirm what others have said, and I must admit, many of these issues are still there. To me personally, the lack of quality game development is very obvious in many elements, and I am not sure what exactly happened in the 10 years between Company of Heroes 2 and 3. Was it a change of personnel in Relic, or a different direction Sega instituted on the same developers, but the overall look and feel of the game has taken a large turn away from the road set by the previous games. Multiplayer is another game feature which, instead of getting improved and expanded on, was minimized and simplified, giving players even less incentive to keep playing in the long term. There is only the quick match option, while the Battlegroups are one bright ray of gameplay sunshine which was dug up from the franchise's past to enrich the gameplay with unit upgrades and unlocks mid-match. This combat gameplay is something player opinions are most divided by. Some see this game as superior, others dispute that, saying the previous one was much more fun and better. It might actually be down to the type of gameplay you play, because single player and skirmish players take more time to inspect the game's visuals in more detail, while players focused on the PvP element just look for unit and controller responsiveness, map design and combat stats. From my own chats with them, I think those in the game for matches versus humans have a much more positive outlook on the game than those who keep their matches versus the AI or just play the campaign. One interesting thing is that this game offered only microtransactions for skins, and yet the player base had a problem with these, despite this kind of paying for only visual changes is the most benign form of microtransactions possible and something that does not affect the gameplay. This is one thing I don't agree on with the players, but I understand their issue with only some skins available for purchase with in-game currency and the rest locked behind real money, something that isn't even available in my region. Maybe everything should have been kept behind a real-world money lock, and people would not have been enticed at all with the skins. Of course, if there was no store and we had mods, we would have the ability to change any unit, but unfortunately, times and gaming industry have changed, even if most of us, the players and customers, have not. I am sorry to see such a franchise go down in flames, but considering Relic Entertainment is now free from its publisher Sega, something good might come out of the ashes in the future. And for new and upcoming RTS games, check out my videos linked here as cards on the screen or links in the description. Thank you for watching and happy gaming!